All right, and welcome back. We've got GODSENT against Viking, game 2 coming at you, with Viking taking game 1. Early on, looks like it could have been trouble, and then I feel like Chad hit level 6 on the drow and turned it around for them in game 1, and now here in game 2, they're looking for the 2-0. They definitely looked like a strong team despite the change away from Tanner, and I feel like that gives me, at least, a lot of confidence in them overall.
Yeah, they looked pretty good, had to be said. I was interested to see what kind of bans would come out this game that are different to last game, and we already see a Lich ban, which is interesting. GODSENT obviously really valuing that hero. But the Omni's still in the pool, which they banned that before. So we'll have to see if anyone picks that one up. Disruptor's still in the pool as well. Magnus, there's loads of good heroes.
As well as the fact is they got the Rubik ban, which I feel like Rubik's been super popular recently.
Yes. Especially against Omni Knight as well. One of the best heroes at punishing him.
And right into that Disruptor with the Magnus once again.
I mean, there's no surprise though, right? Like, this Disruptor's really good. It's not great against the Omni Knight in the laning stage because it's heavily based off the Thunder Strike, but even so, still pretty good. But they seem pretty confident with this opening, and I don't blame them. I think it's a good opening to have.
Well, it gives you so much team fight right away, as well as catch. You know that Magnus is someone who can recover on farm in lane if he needs to with the Empower. And if he has a good time, even better. But, you know, this just confirms that you're going to have not only team fight and catch, but you can also produce Empower for your other core.
I wonder, they could pick something like a Puck here if they wanted, I think would be okay. Oh, they just go back for the SF again. Wow. I mean, the SF did look like a decent hero last game. It got blown up a couple of times by the Drow, but I'm expecting that hero to be banned out this time.
You'd like to hope so, or think so.
They might even look to pick it up themselves, though, as well, with the SF is the other thing.
Problem is they don't have that first pick coming into the third phase. Do you risk giving it up?
Yeah, Drow's not that great against Omni Knight, though. You know, the GA obviously been really effective up against their physical damage, so you want to look to possibly, you know, head down other different alleys with your bans. Morphling ban, interesting. Obviously really good up against the Omni Knight as well. And they ban out the Bat Rider. Okay. I mean, well, you're kind of expecting it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder what they pick as their supports here. So, you usually want some kind of range hero to play up with the Omni Knight in the lane, right? I still think Puck's a decent option that's in the pool. What else could they go for? Like, Tusk is still in the pool if they want to go for that. There's nothing that really punishes the mag, though, which is my main worry. Oh, how's that hero been let through? I completely forgot about Tree. In my head, I just automatically banned, like, every game.
I just feel like we haven't seen it today, so it just kind of leaves your mindset. I don't think it's been banned much either.
So you look to probably pick up your position. I mean, they could just pick Tusk again, honestly. Like, it's not all great. I'd like to see something that's active still. And that can be aggressive. I mean, I'm struggling to think here, honestly. Something like a Lena's pretty awful. I think Puck's still in the pool. It's not great up against Omni Knight because he just purges off the stun. But if they want to go for something funky, they could pick up something like a Phoenix here, which would be exciting.
I saw flames. I got excited.
Oh,
I thought you were on it again, you know?
I love Phoenix. I hear it's never picked anymore, though. It's not good enough. It's not strong enough in the lane.
I
And
um,
how's
go for it.
Doom been let through again as well? Like, what? That's another hero that I just assume is banned every year.
10 seconds remaining.
Speaking of Phoenix, I watched a game. It was eHome against IG, Chinese Pro League. I don't know if IG were going with a meme draft, but they went Elder Titan, Drow, Shadow Demon, Centaur, Phoenix. Sounds okay.
Where did the Phoenix play?
1.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, ET Phoenix is a really strong lane because you get the magic damage amp from the spirit
Radiant team
with the aura.
They lost very quickly.
Oh, sad times.
Yeah,
Okay, so they go for the puck on Godsent. I think it's a pretty good puck game. We talked about last game how they really struggled to like stick on top of the drow. Now they have the coil and they have overgrowth as well, so they actually have decent team fight and lockdown here.
10 seconds.
My only worry is that Disruptor's pretty good at locking down the puck in a static storm. You can't
5
jump out of
seconds
glimpse.
remaining.
Once it's on you, that's it.
So, last bands. Bloodseeker. I remember there was a time where whenever there was a Bloodseeker ban, Weaver was coming out next.
Slark as well is the other one that you ought to. I mean, they could go for something like a Weaver, honestly, but it would have to be some like weird position for Weaver or something like off-lane Weaver, which sounds horrendous.
10 seconds.
I miss the position 4 Weavers that used to rush Ags. They go like Medallion Ags,
5 seconds.
and they'd make like everything really difficult to kill because they'd just get time lapsed away. I want position 4 Weaver to come back. What a hero. So what a Godsent need? They need some carry, you would assume. I assume it's 5 tree, 4 puck.
But they also need some... Do they need catch? Yeah. I mean, kind of.
They don't have a hero that gets on top of the drow really easily at the moment, apart from the puck. I think they want some kind of like mobile core. I think something like PL might be okay. Struggling to think. There's just...
Dire team pick.
We said it before, there's not a lot of great carries at the moment.
Definitely feels like an underwhelming position to play. Or something that seems highly
Life-
repetitive.
What about Life Stealer?
You've got the movement with the Illusory Orb to just get in there with an Infest Pop.
Radiant team pick.
Oh, amazing. I told you, dude, you were so good at this.
Don't we? I'm not good at this. I haven't been the one guessing. Come on.
I mean, you assume they're going to be looking to pick up an offlaner here, right? On their side as well. You see Mags mid, Drow's born.
10 seconds remaining.
You need some here that lane's okay against Life Stealer.
5 seconds.
Some BKB piercing stun, I think, would be nice here as well to go along with the RP. So maybe something like an axe might be okay. Some like more good hard lockdown. They might look to pick up something like a Legion for themselves, maybe as well. It's not a great lane anymore, the Legion Life Stealer matchup, but what else could they go for?
Do you risk? No, never mind. Never mind. I'm not gonna guess. I was gonna say, do you risk doing something like Underlord? Would that work?
It's okay. It's not great though. I think it really struggles in the lane against Life. They could go for something like a Bristle maybe as well, but it's a bit awkward, I think. Or like, if they want to pick up some like hero that just lets them sustain and push, I know it's a bit weird, but they could go for something like a Dazzle as well. Beastmaster's still in the pool if they want to go for that too, which might be good. But the lane's a little bit awkward. Yeah, there you go.
You may now select your heroes.
Yeah, I don't know what this we is.
I mean, the thing is, if you just say every possible hero, then, you know, it's fine.
I'll do that next time. Next time I'll just, you know, Ancient
I mean, we talked
Apparition, Abaddon.
We talked about this before, though, right, as well, where you have the Beastmaster Hawk vision for the Disruptor Glimpse as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, and that's something that came in handy quite a bit, too.
I like GODSENT's draft much better this game compared to their draft last game, though. I think it looks a lot more well-rounded, a lot more solid.
I still like Vikings draft, though.
Yeah, I like Vikings draft as well. I think it's pretty good. I think the laning stage is a little bit more.
But I feel like you hit that 6 mark, and all of a sudden... Like,
I just think this Omni Knight puck lane sounds really strong. Like, I think the Drow Disruptor's going to struggle a lot more this time round. Whereas last game, they kind of got away with a lot. Because the Legion had a rough start and had to burn a lot of his regen in the start of the lane by himself. Oh, I love that intro bit.
I feel like that sound
Prepare
is from Maple Story.
I have no idea. I know what game that is. My friend used to play it, but I didn't load it up ever. So.
Am I older than you? I think I'm like a couple years older than you, right?
I think we're like pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember playing the beta for that game. And then I played
God.
it for years to come. And then I was a quote DJ on Maple Dash Radio. That was fun.
Was Maple Story the one where you could attach like scrolls to items that randomly increase or decrease the?
Yeah, so there was like 60% chance dex plus something, and like then the scrolls got intense, but that was after I left.
Wasn't there like a really small chance it could be really good or something? And so like some people would use like loads of scrolls to try and make one really good weapon that would be like amazing.
Yeah, so people you like up your main stat or whatever. Now they have like luck scrolls where you could keep like you used to have like X amount of scroll slots, and now it's like you have infinite, but the scrolls now have a chance to destroy your item.
Right, okay.
It's something crazy.
Oh. A little bit of fighting going for runes early on. Gonna be 2 for 2.
So Wishback on this Shadow Fiend, it looked okay, and then just found himself in spots where, the Drow was gonna destroy him, and here we are again, Drow VSF, but of course with the Omni.
I want to see if Wish does the same thing here and long raises the mag as soon as he first sees him at the start of the lane. Yeah, he does. Interesting.
He tried,
just
that's for sure.
Yeah, just to threaten more.
But at the end of the day, like, what does that do for you?
It just like it's the threat of getting triple raised, right, or like double raised. It's so much damage early on.
So walking in, just having shorter and shorter ranged raises, you start with the long one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're not going to get hit by the long range unless you do it first, right? Yeah, and there's the Heavenly Grace level 1, by the way, as well, to take off strike.
This definitely seems like a lane that might be difficult to get a kill in, but that's if Heavenly Grace is available, and if it gets used, if you force it to be used on Boogie himself, and you get like a chance to go in on Noya, definitely potential there. But other than that, I mean, Glimpse Kinetic Field with an Illusory Orb out, it still seems pretty tough overall.
They're doing a really good job of just clicking them though, constantly.
Yeah, definitely not making it easy.
SF having a really good start to the game again, though, same as before. You're probably going to see the mag head off to the jungle really soon, like last time. And I love when position 4 Dooms do this, by the way. I just want to mention, they skip a creep wave, and they take it behind the tower, and if they don't get punished at all, you get level 2 off a single creep wave if you have solo XP. So it just allows these position 4s like Bat Rider as another good example as well. If you cut the wave and get level 2 by yourself. it can be really strong.
This will do just fine.
But now what's the plan? What are you using that level 2 to do? Like,
It just means he can roam, like he can go and like try and get couriers. Like the Scorched Earth Devour combo is just so good. Get the Infernal Blade up at level 3 if he wants.
Heads over towards mid.
Yeah, it's not really much he can do to the SF though, unfortunately.
It's just interesting seeing him go that direction and, you know, not really find anything for his troubles. And Toby comes over here. He'll drag the creep wave again, and, you know, Aramis did it before.
Really
And Nature's
here,
Grass, yeah. I mean, Nature's Grass put in the perfect position to really slow up and do a lot of damage to Toby, especially with the Leech Seed.
Doom gets the Lifestealer's Courier though. That's a pretty big pickup.
And now if Toby gets caught, he would end up, you know, being
bot
first
lane, though.
blood. But bottom, it's Boogie who gets the first kill onto the Disruptor. So we were talking about how there's not a lot of catch here between these two sides, but still somehow Disruptor gets caught a little bit too far from home.
It's all about the team fight combination though afterwards as well. Where like they have this Mag Disruptor. Yes, the laning stage might go a little bit rough for you like it did before, but if you can come out into like the 10 to 15 minute mark and just like win these fights just by, you know, controlling them, you will get the advantage back. Just this Beastmaster Doom lane having a little bit of a rough time at the moment.
So Toby gets spotted.
The Frost Armor's really helping the Beastmaster here though.
Okay, see ya. I'm not gonna die here by any means, but at least for right now, Godsent's still feeling pretty good. But this is exactly what we saw in the first game. Godsent picked themselves up about 4,000 net worth lead. Then level 6s started to come along for Viking, and it definitely started to feel like a problem once they had that level 6.
This Buck's going to have to go back to base now though, so the charge should be able to pick up in this lane a little bit more before. Just click the Omni Knight a little bit. Try and bully him.
1 raise, 2 raise, 3 raises.
That's a lot of mana regen though for the SF that gets wasted without really any return. Sorry, mana burned. Bounty rune spawning.
And then, what was it? Godsent, I believe, got 3 of 4 in the first game, right?
He's in trouble.
Yeah, open wounds. They're going to have a Nature's Grasp to slow them up even more if they even want to drop it, if they even need to drop it. And, well, Era will get the kill there on a Toby. 2-0 here for Godsent.
That's well played by the tree as well, just to make sure you don't like unnecessarily waste mana. The boar actually denied the other bounty rune, and it's going to pull the creep wave at the moment, which is really nice for the Beastmaster.
Ooh.
I don't even think they kill the SF there though, even if they use the RP.
Bottom again. Just lose Solari. But a lot of damage coming in on Noya. Would like one more arrow, but won't be able to make it.
He doesn't have the multi-shot, unfortunately.
And he's still just throwing shots out here, doing a lot of damage.
They're TPing down towards the bot lane, though, on the dire side. The tree's coming.
So they're going to try and drag him in as close as possible. Meanwhile, Noya taking a lot of damage, so he can't really be involved. But there's the Heavenly Grace from Boogie, Kinetic Field, Purification, and I believe, yeah, OKC has been spotted.
This Lifesteal is just having absolute free farm up in the top lane. Now look at the CS of the off lane on Dire. Like there's 7 on the Doom and 7 on the Beastmaster. And they kill his courier again, though. That's pretty sad. That's like twice in a row that Toby's got it now, just because of that deep ward they have.
I believe that was not only the Blightstone, but the finish on the Phase Boots, or
Yes.
Treads.
I think so. That's just really... That's pretty bad. It means he's getting less passive gold in as well, remember. When I say less, it means he's getting none, but, you know, less overall. This SF's not controlling the lane as much as he was last time, though. Like, do you remember that before the SF was absolutely dominating the lane, and Mac had to jungle from, like, level 3 or 4 something. But
Yeah,
this time he's
no,
managed
not
to get,
nearly as much.
he's managed to get a lot more this game on Boom.
Nature's Grass on Solari. Who turns around for a second. Heavenly Grace placed on OKC.
The net worth on the offlaners, though, is a lot closer than I thought it would be. I thought this Beastmaster was having a much worse time. But the Omni Knights...
Still down about 600. That's not amazing. You know, not terrible.
Yeah, the Beastmaster's just going to skip waves now, though, because the tree's not there to punish him.
Aramis comes over. But, again, more just here as a deterrent than anything with 3 heroes down bottom. And there's not really much he could do over top anyway.
This Frost Armor as well is so big that the Doom has. It makes any kind of go really difficult, because I think it's like an extra 6 armor. It used to be 8 before they changed it recently. Like the big patch for the Outlanders.
So Magnus still
Finds
he
an
sits
eye
top
with
of the net worth. Boom's doing really well.
He's getting in line with Tree SMP as well, so an extra 7 stats all round. Pretty good going. And I'm sure the Tree would like one of his own of those, if possible. I mean, last game they were further behind at this point than they are now, so it's an improvement.
Yeah, they were down 4,000. It certainly was not easy. They've got vision here of Wish, but not like they can go in. Toby only level 3.
Cool. He's
Wow.
okay. So he wasn't that far behind in gold, but he's very far behind in XP, at least a level.
I mean,
But Disruptor's level 5 actually.
yeah, I was just starting that. Even Solari's level 5.
I mean, we saw one Disruptor today that got like next to
Toby.
nothing. So.
Raises come in with the open wounds. Easy kill there for Wish.
The Doom's TPing top, but I don't know how
He's
much
only
he can
level
do.
3 as well. Like, what can you do? How much is he really deterring?
He has like really little farm on the Doom. He hasn't really achieved anything this game so far. Again, we talked about it. It's all about the team fights, right? The Radiant really need to try and make a bot for this make a push for this bottom outpost. Otherwise, they're going to get none of them. Because this top
And
one's...
now look at this.
pretty
Aramis with the raises coming in. They'll look for the RP on multiple heroes. They'll only find it onto the SF, which actually is okay if they can get the kill. But the Requiem comes in, fears them away. The raises come through. Toby ends up getting killed. And now they might even lose the Disruptor and the Doom. I mean, Jesus. A lot of heroes getting low here on the side of Viking. You're happy there's no Bloodseeker on the other team.
They've had to leave, though. Now this Lifestealer is going to get the top outpost. So... yeah, like...
Is it worth his life?
oh, he just... I don't think that's worth it. I'll be honest. Maybe it is, actually. It's pretty close. I don't think it's worth the life of the Lifestealer. If it was like one of the supports, it would have been fine, but... yeah, he committed to that, though. He started. He was like, I am not stopping this.
Took
I'm
his hands
finishing
off the
this.
keyboard. Made sure he didn't click off of it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, poor Noya. Doesn't get the last hit.
Has fallen.
Oh, and that's a lovely regen rune to pick up. Ooh. When you're on like 50 mana, you find a regen rune. Goes good.
3,000 net worth lead. Now Aramis is about to be level 6.
Yeah, they really need the 6 on their 3-4-5 Viking. They can actually make plays across the map then.
Under attack.
Like when
Yeah,
you have
that-
Static Storm Doom and Roar up.
Right, now they've got 2 of the 3. They just need the 3rd being on that Beastmaster.
If you asked me at the start of the game who would be the last one to get level 6 on the Radiance, he was not the one that I would have said.
Especially after the Beastmaster performance we saw recently. Where they got Necrobook at 7 minutes.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
So, some damage coming out to the Omni Knight. I believe the Shockwave is what hit, but that's controlling the Arcane Rune over at bottom here for Wish. They've got a couple of heroes here for the side of Godsent as well. And by a couple, I mean 4. Everybody's here for the Lifestealer, while Smoke comes in for Aramis, Toby, and Solari.
Yeah, these are the big spells that we were talking about. They really need to try and make something of this. They're falling further and further behind at the moment.
Tower is under attack.
Looks like they're going to try and play up towards this top lane, but it's not an easy kill. If they can get the Roar off into the Doom...
Do you do that, or do you Static Storm?
He got the Rage off, though. This is so awkward.
Dream Coil comes in.
This is really bad.
Have a glimpse to work with, and that's going to be sent on to the Omni Knight. They'll charge up the Requiem. Static Storm now placed down, and this is what you were showing with your level 6. Is that enough? Skewer in, and the damage cost on a 3. Just the drow. They can't follow it up. Wish comes in. Requiem hits a couple of these heroes. They get the kill on a puck, but that is way less than they bargained for.
Yeah, if they'd have got the SF as well there, that would have been really good, but unfortunately, he escapes just because of that clutch overgrowth.
They came in looking to go on a shopping spree in this top lane and walk away with just 1 item.
Yeah, Era's back in the lane now as well. Doom running off. And they kind of just have to run away again.
They don't have those big spells that, that they need to be using.
There was a really clutch silence from that puck in the fight as well, where the Mag tried to use the Shockwave in the RP, but the silence came out in between the Shockwave and the RP just to stop him getting it off. Big plays from Neuer.
Another
going
smoke.
again.
Interesting. They don't have Doom.
They do have
Primal
RP.
Roar, and they don't have.
The only one still.
They don't have Static Storm, but is that worth it for just OKC? I mean, the smoke now. They're gonna try and hide above the tower. No, the smoke's broken.
I mean, the main thing is that they want to try and control this top half of the map, right? Like, if they can take this tower, getting the top outpost makes it so much easier.
Oh. Solari gets caught there.
Oh, he's got an armlet on Lifestealer as well. Okay.
Yeah, he might find OKC, but through the trees he goes, and Wish makes the rotation. You don't want to be near that. They do have Static Storm once Solari's back up, but for 10 more seconds, he's still down.
Very frustrating to play against Tree that, when he's already in that form where he can move through trees, you can't break it off of him. You can only, if you hit him, it stops him if he's not already in the trees. So, it can be really difficult to try and chase him down when he's playing on the side of the map. Doing the max living armor build as well, which a lot of people, when this hero first came out since the change, were like playing the max nature's grass build and just pushing out waves a lot of the time. But FNG started playing the position 5 tree. I think he was the first one I saw do it, where max living armor first just to help your lanes. Doing a pretty good job so far. Are they going again? All 3 smokes used in the space of like a few minutes.
And they got to get something from this. If they come up empty-handed, that could be a huge issue. Or at least feel like it puts them even further behind.
They're going to see the SF on the ward. They ping him out.
Looks like they're heading that direction. I believe Blink Shockwave came through. They'll use the RP. They're going to go after this SF. He's getting kind of low with the kinetic field as well as the Doom. They'll get the kill.
Yeah, big pick off though as well. And these balls are going to slow them down. Might be able to try and find some stragglers here.
They've got the glimpse into the Static Storm. Can they get the kill before he gets out? Yes, and the Primal Roar. So now this is really turning out to be something potentially good here for Vikings. They'll move forward. Kinetic field. There's the Guardian Angel. They'll buy back on the puck. Skewer away. They do have Dream Coil to work with, so Illusory Orb towards the top end of the map. They're going to look for the Dream Coil onto the Magnus. He's going to try and fight his way out, but win he won't.
They get the buyback off the puck, though. I mean, Neuer's really far down in net worth after that buyback, so, they're not coming out empty-handed. But they do have to be a little bit careful now on Viking with their cooldowns being down.
So an Imp Claw there for the Drow.
My only worry for this dire side is that they're not really making moves across the map, right? They seem to be happy to just farm up, hit their timings later on in the game, where they have these 3 cores that all scale okay.
Question is now, how much pressure are you going to see from the Radiant now that they've used all their smokes? You know, are they still going to look to move in on these fights? There was certainly a couple of kills, though, that ended up being worth it. Problem is, you lose your Magnus, and, you know, you'd like to have gotten out of there without giving up anything on the exit.
She's rushing Hurricane Pike again on the Joe, which is interesting. We see a lot of people like go for the Dragon Lance, they're going back for something else before finishing off the Hurricane Pike, but the maneuverability is so good this game up against the Lifestealer, up against the Omni. And SMY as well. It's not a great BKB game, to be fair. It's only really the Disruptor that threatens you. They put a sentry down just after the mag sneaks by.
Yeah, but he's right here, ready with the RP on 2 heroes, and looks to get it onto both of them. Sets it up and will. The Static Storm comes out on top of it. The Dream Core is going to be there from the puck.
Oh, big,
but they get the kill there on a Boogie. The Requiem and the right-click damage from Era. Boom, Toby and Aramis gone.
Oh, the clumsy net.
Oh, and Glimpse? No. Phase Shift avoided. Illusory Orb. Noya styling there on Solari. Ooh, boy. That is not the way they wanted that to go.
Cancel Glimpse with Phase Shift.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Ah. Learn something new.
That's just not... They really wish they got more out of that fight. And where does that break down? That they just get nothing that they really wanted in that exchange.
It's, I mean, they're blowing these big cooldowns, right? But they're not finding the kills just because they have this save from the Omni. They've got the living armor on the tree as well to make people more difficult to kill. Like, when this living armor comes out on somebody, it's all physical damage, right, from this Drow and Mag. So the tree's living armor is so valuable that there's no magic burst. There's no, like, crazy amount of damage coming through. They're going to get both outposts, it looks like, on the Dire, unless Doom can sneak the one bot.
Skewer on it too, but is there any value in
He's-
that? They're going to rotate over
stuck
the
in half.
Beastmaster, and now Static Storm. Yeah, I was going to say, are they going to commit that TP?
They got both the outposts, though, on the Radiant side.
Ooh, Toby's still dead, though, to Era.
He has armlet, does so. This guy is chunking at the moment on the Lifestealer.
Now, Drow lineups don't normally like to play from behind. What do you do if you're that far back?
It's difficult, isn't it? We said in the first game that it picked today that if you play from behind on the Drow, it feels really underwhelming. And you know, it definitely feels like that here. You can't make these aggressive moves on the map with Disruptor with Glimpse as well. Like, the hero also feels underwhelming.
There's that slow build up to level 6 for a lot of these heroes on the side of the Radiant, and now just dire overwhelming where it doesn't feel like the Radiant have much of anything. The Hurricane Pike actually on cooldown. He does have double damage, but he can't fight into this. Meanwhile, Magnus has just been caught in
I mean,
no
if they
man's
had
land.
like, if they had 3 cores, they might actually be doing okay. But Toby got completely shut down in the laning stage. Like, this tree just absolutely took him out of the game. So they effectively have 3 supports instead of 3 cores at this point. And when you're like losing this much of the map like so quickly, you don't have space that 3 cores can farm. So this Beastmaster basically has to be the one that suffers and says, okay, well, I need my Drow and my Mag to both get farm. I'm just going to get whatever scraps I can, effectively. And Doom's probably going to be the one that transitions into the POS 3.
Which means, at least for the Beastmaster, you're not getting Necro Book, you're not getting these items that you normally get to help push out or team fight or anything.
I don't think you can build something like a Necro Book this game on the Beastmaster. I don't know what he has at the moment, but I feel like he should be building just like these utility items like Yeah, the medallion, the Vlads.
Is under attack.
Because I don't think you should be focused on your own game at this point.
Yeah, and that that's a luxury that you get from a good early start.
Well, this is such a good smoke. If they can try and find a pick off here, they turn it into a tier 2, but... Oh, okay, Doom might be in trouble.
Dreamcore comes in, waiting Rift. And Era will start to hit away at a Doom that is dead for certain. And
He just cut the wave though, which makes it, it's going to take much longer for them to push than it would have.
For Viking, it just hasn't clicked yet. At all.
Yeah, they are struggling. Like, Drow's have been able to find farm across the map by just playing on the other side where Dire are. But, it feels like she's still just farming slower, right? Like, this Lifestealer is just going to run at her, and what does she do? Like, even if she Hurricane Pikes away, the Lifestealer just keeps running, I'm pretty sure. And they have the coil to be able to try and lock the Drow down.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So he's got Helm of the Dominator. He's finished off the Vlads.
Dire's middle tower.
At least he's got that, but look at how far behind he is. Look at the drop-off from Magnus onto the rest. He's actually ahead of the Omni Knight, all things considered. But he's ahead of the Omni Knight because look at where the Lifestealer and the Shadow Fiend are taking farm priority.
The Omni Knight has double, like, Bracer in the Van Brace as well, so he's pretty happy with how his game is, to be honest. All his job is on the Omni Knight is just to keep this Lifestealer and SF alive with the Heavenly Grace.
Dire's top
This
tower
Doom has to
is
run.
under attack.
Because I was going to say, when they get vision of him from that outpost, he would be in trouble. And he has just TP'd in, so I'm not really sure what his plan is up here. He has a blink, so he can try and be a little sneaky, but if he shows at all, this puck will be ready.
Puck might be ready regardless.
Oh,
Wow.
dear.
Good job by Noya. I mean,
Spidey
that
senses the tingling. Yes,
is
blink! Oh,
absolutely perfect there from Noya. Illusory Meteor Hammer, and it comes down. They will get this kill, and Doom dead again. 16-6, 10,000 net worth lead here for Godsent.
this tree has played so well. I've been really impressed with him, actually. Feels like he's always in the right place at the right time. And they've just found a gem as well. Oh, I say found it. I think they bought it, but
Radiant
it's looking good for them. You try and take the Roche when it spawns again. Telescope for the puck. That feels pretty good.
Craggy coat. Beastmaster?
Yeah, I assume... Yeah, Beastmaster or Doom. One of the two. The thing is, like, both these cores by SMY, right? The Lifestealer and the SF. And now SF, I think SF's finished a Satanic, or he's about to. How did they ever kill them? Like, the Stars' resistance against Raw, Doom, and RP is so big.
They're practically
I don't-
useless at this point.
Yeah.
Or at least the roar feels like it lasts no time at all.
It's like 2 seconds stun.
Just the net worth
Just
lead
building,
is just gonna
they're just
go
building
up
their
and
lead
up.
further and further.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad. Sad to see. If you're a Viking fan.
If you're a Viking fan, let me remind you, Vikings pillaged villages. Just gonna throw it out there.
They are not pillaging villages this game.
Dire's
No.
top tower is under
Not
attack.
in the slightest.
I have to say that they're doing a pretty good job of just avoiding all fights wherever they can.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreline's only 16-6. It's felt like a bit of a slow game overall. That honestly doesn't benefit Viking too much. You still need so much here for the Drow, who is holding onto the craggy coat.
We have to remember they do have really good high ground defense as well on the Radiant side. Like, if you're ever pushing on the Dire, there's this glimpse that you have to worry about, like skewers coming in, where they can push you into tier 4s.
So Craggy Coat finally given over to the Beastmaster.
Do you think you'll survive a fight still? I don't.
Dire's
Maybe.
middle tower is under
That's
attack.
the item that changes the game.
Dire's
Right,
structures
right.
are fortified.
Do they know that they're coming from the other side of the river? I feel like they definitely are
Yeah.
privy to that information, especially knowing that Magnus is right there. Wish comes over, right clicks coming into Solari to throw the Static Storm as well as the net, but it's not going to matter as they're going to lose 2 heroes. And RP comes out. Do they have the damage onto the LS?
The life is just healing.
Yeah, he's
And
not
yes, they
dying.
are.
BKB, and well, Boom ends up dead. Gone for 63 seconds.
Toby's like, I'm gonna go farm some neutral creeps, guys. Now the thing, imagine in your head if they weren't so far behind, you doom the Omni, you RP the Lifestealer in a fight. It sounds really good, right?
Under attack.
Like in theory, like they're clicking their buttons correctly. They're just so far behind that it doesn't matter, and it doesn't make a difference.
Nature's Grass, Waning Rift, Illusory Orb out. Drop taking some damage there, but the tier 3 will finally crumble, and now they'll go for the set of racks. Right click's coming in on the Era, but he doesn't really quite care. It's just a, tis just a scratch. And now look at Wish, just trying to throw these raises, and, well, he's got some poor aim. They've got the Glimpse back onto Wish, but he's infested, so they need to be careful. He looked
Oh,
to throw the
good
Requiem
gosh.
out, and now they look over at the puck. Guardian Angel comes through, and the Requiem charged up once again, but they won't find anything on the exit, and they're going to continue to try to do so.
That puck was about to coil before the gust came out, and he would have caught
Oh, wow. What a move here by Wish with those spider legs. Went up the cliff, down the hill with the spider legs, got behind the Beastmaster, and got the kill.
I've seen Toby have better games before.
Is under attack.
He's getting caught out a lot, but yeah, I mean, do you think they'll ban SF next game?
Radiant's top shrine.
Because they first faced it twice, right?
They might try to beat it again.
Radiant
I think you just take him out of his comfort zone. Just force him to play something different, right?
Well,
They're
I
gonna
just
try and contest the Roche, but
coming off the game or the series where they had the puck in the first series, you know, do you
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
do you even try for it?
I mean, this puck's looked really good all day so far, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the last series where they were like, okay, we lost to the puck, or we played the puck, then we lost to the puck. We're gonna try and beat the puck, and we beat the puck. So are they gonna try and do it? You
It's
know,
such
the
a
same way the
it's
last
such an
series was?
awkward hero to first face ban, right? SF, you're like, do we really want to do this? Like, do we have to? I'd be more wary of the Treant, to be honest, than the Omni Knight than the SF anyway. I think the Omni Knight just enables them to do whatever they want any mid hit. Like, it got banned in first game, so they probably didn't think about it because GODSENT banned it themselves.
I mean, when you've got that kind of status resistance, things get really difficult for the other team. Feels like nothing they do really works. Jeez, look at Toby's positioning.
He's a fearful man.
He was all the way in the trees, all the way on the side. But GODSENT know that they don't have to be the ones making the aggressive play.
I mean, they have to. I feel like they should probably want to use this Aegis for something, right?
They could certainly finish the game with the Aegis, in my opinion.
Like, what are they waiting for now? Are they waiting on certain items, or what? Because I don't know. I feel like they aren't going to get much stronger than this at the moment in comparison. Like in the Aegis duration. Yes, it's difficult to go high ground, but I guess Neuer just commits to a jump. If he dies, it doesn't really matter.
building an Abyssal Blade, but still a lot of time till he gets that.
Again, they're playing a little hesitant, but may not be the worst thing in the world. I still think that they've got a tight grasp on this game of 22,000 net worth. And at some point, I think they'll feel comfortable enough to jump. I think they're almost hoping that Viking make a move outside of the base.
Yeah, possibly, but do they really feel comfortable enough to do that?
You know, are Godsent that fearful of a high ground, defense?
Are they close to levels or something as well? Like, I don't really understand what they're waiting for. Are they just trying to shove all their lanes in? It's a weird one. I guess Basher on Lifesteal is pretty good, but I mean he's slotted anyway with the Aegis in.
Is it worth the wait?
Oh, okay. Omni just finished Ags. That's pretty big. Means he basically just doesn't even have to sit at the front of the... Like, he can stand wherever he wants.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do anything too dangerous now, and I don't know how Viking even jump on anybody at this point. So we'll wait for them to make that move as they're still pressuring towards the shrine area. Let's see. Moving forward is Era. Skewer back won't hit anything, so the tier 3 will drop. A lot of damage being done there by Shad, but...
There's a DD top, but if they leave now, the Aegis is going to expire and they won't be able to use it to push here. It looks like they are just going to want to go and grab it. Aegis must be expiring any second now.
Got about 12 seconds.
Oh, this damage is pretty
Another
bonkers.
skewer that he doesn't land. The damage coming in on a boom is way more than he can handle. He's going to have to back off, which means they don't have the RP to work with. Overgrowth gets used, and there's the Aegis expiring. They've got the Infest in to Wish. Aramis and Toby are waiting within the trees.
I think
They've
he
got
just
the
one
glimpse
shot.
back.
He just one-shot Disruptor, I think.
Yeah, Disruptor ends up dead. Now they look over at Toby. He gets 3-shot, but he's not dead just yet. 4 staff back. And the racks are just going down. Wish doesn't care. He doesn't even have the Lifestealer popping out yet. And here's the deal. I'm just going to take these buildings.
He has Satanic as well, though, right? Like, look, he's just chunk people.
There's the Skewer, but again, he still is that Infest. He still is the Satanic. He'll heal up off that. They don't get the kill onto the Beastmaster. Finally, he does. And now he's looking for the Requiem, but there's the GA. So Requiem will follow it up. They'll get the kill on to Toby, Aramis, and boom, they'll all fall with no buyback available on the Magnus. And, well, now Glimpse again, but this time it's on to Arrow, who's full health. They look over the Disruptor, and he bought back earlier on, or I think he's just been dead long enough, and I guess they called GG. We never saw it.
I mean, that's, you know, it's pretty standard, though. I mean, standard game from Dire, I mean. Like, it was very systematic, if that makes sense. They dominated the laning stage, and they just pushed their advantage further and further as time went on. OKC, it was 109 on this Treant, but it felt like he did so much more just because of how effective the living are.
I mean, he didn't die, so he's not feeding away anything. To stay alive like that is absolutely fantastic on a Treant Protector. But look at the combined score of Aramis and Toby. 0, 13, and 9. And Shad, 1-0 and 3. What did he do this game?
I'd be interested to see if they value the Drow as much as they did before. Like, even though Shad didn't die this game, it's not necessarily the Drow's fault, but, like, unless they want to, like, first face Toby's hero early on now this game, because what did he play in game 1? I can't even remember now.
Who, Toby?
Yeah. The Brewmaster, that was it.